Hi, fifth grade. So I am so sorry I am not there with you today, but I am home with my sick child. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you guys how to make some of these little trees. And I had planned to teach you with a fan brush, but what I found is that it wasn't quite as successful as I would had hoped because we're working on such a small area that is gonna be our landscape. So what you'll want is a pretty tiny little brush. I got a fairly good sized one. I think you're gonna want as little as possible, okay? And then just a little bit of black paint, okay? So what you're gonna do today is you're gonna paint some evergreen trees in your landscape. Once you've done at least 3 trees and their reflections, then you are done for the day. So everyone should be able to finish this project today, because when we come in next week, we are gonna start something new. We're gonna start clay. Shh, don't tell everybody that, but we will start clay next week. So we do need to get this finished. All right, so let me walk you through the process, okay? So I started one over here that I had done in chalk. It did not really work very well because chalk on chalk is not a good thing. So we're gonna use some black temper paint, okay? Now, when you use this, you wanna use very little. So we're gonna start by picking a spot like right here, and we're gonna make just a really thin line for the tree, okay? And then remember, your tree needs to be smaller than the mountains because very few trees are actually taller than the mountains. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna make little brush strokes coming down, just like this, okay? That get a little bit larger, a little bit wider as you go down the tree. If you need some guidance, you can always lay your finger down here and you can make little tiny brush strokes coming out further like that. Okay, and go back in here and edit them a little bit, make them go further out if you want. If you want them closer together and smaller, totally fine too. So I'm actually gonna come down here, go further down like this. You bring them in a little bit as I go up, and I need to go back and adjust because I see that my ones at the bottom are not quite as far out as I would like them. Okay. So then, once you've painted your tree, okay, what you'll need to do is make a mirror reflection of it. So, it's best to just turn your paper around, and remember, you're gonna make a smaller version of that, okay? Because in a reflection, it's smaller. So, I'm gonna get my paintbrush with a little bit of paint, and I'm gonna go to the other side. Remember how we had that little black strip in the middle? And where the white ends here is where your tree trunk should end. And on the other side is where that tree trunk should begin. So I'm gonna make mine like this. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect or exactly identical, because in the water, it gets distorted a little bit. Remember how we talked about water distorting images? So I'm gonna come in here and just add these and link them a little bit. Okay, so then I wanna come up here and add one more little branch. I can come back in here with not a ton of paint on my brush and just kind of fill it in a little bit. So it's not quite the same. So do you see the difference there? Once it's upright, it is a little bit of a reflection. It's similar, but not perfect. Okay, so you're gonna do that 3 times. You need to have at least 3 different trees. If you wanna do more than that, great. If you don't, totally fine too. If you think that this is too thin, I am all for coming in here with very little paint on your brush and just gently brushing some extra paint on to where it almost just looks a little bit gray. See, I'm not even sure there's really any paint left on my brush. Just a little bit of residue. I'm gonna come in here and just dab that in there and thicken it up a little bit, okay? So if you want it to be a little bit thicker, go for it. If you don't, totally fine with that too. So once you have 3 different trees and their reflections, you are done for the day. But make sure you clean up all your supplies and are super respectful to Mrs. Amelia, because when you're really good, you guys get Skittles. All right, and I do not want to have to take away your clay privilege next week if you guys don't get a good report left. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great day, and this should be a pretty fast finisher to the project. All right, have a good day.